Hello everyone and welcome to the tracc.eu Continental Circus Season 25-3. This is the second iteration of the Continental Circus and we are racing this time in Le Mans Ultimate, as you can see. So this is a first for many of the drivers here being in Le Mans Ultimate. This is a first for us as hosts here. My name is Julian Strasse and I will shortly be joined by a co-commentator who, well, is going to join shortly, yeah. So yeah, this is, as you can maybe guess already from the corner, this is Sebring that we're on today. Sebring. So we're in Florida and we are racing, of course, the combination of hypercars and GT3s. We have already started the qualifying session, so let's take a look at what we can see here. We have the BMW here that is G-Fox Foxington going for a lap. Currently in the lead is Edwin Law in the Toyota and seems to be a good amount ahead, well, of much of the rest of the grid. However, closely followed by Yichen de Jong, also in the Honda here. And I just heard that we have also the co-commentator here. Glad you could make it to the commentary booth. How are you doing, Sebastiano?
Hello everyone. I'm doing pretty well, even though mishaps happened and I had to rush it here. But hey, I'm glad to be here for the first round of Continental Circus here on Le Mans Ultimate. I've been there with everyone for the Continental Circus on ACC, so I'm glad to be back here.
Alright, yeah. It is nice to be here. It is also nice to be here in Sebring. This is a site that we don't usually see here, coming over from ACC to host this, our first ever LMU championship. Edwin Law has just been beaten out for the top lap by Yichen de Jong with a 146.035. It's looking to already get very feisty for the lead. Patrick Silvasi as well, only half a second down. Joseph German then being the next, who is a bit further down right now, but knowing Joseph German, he will get quicker and he will also make up more time. In the GT3s right now, we have Alex Curto with a commanding lead. What is going on here? 1 second ahead of the next GT3, which is currently Omet's actually in the Iron Lynx Lamborghini. We've got quite a few drivers already putting out nice laps. So looking at the grid so far, is there anyone in particular you are looking out for?
Well, I'm looking at currently. Oh wait, no, never mind. I saw a new name, but it was just the guy in 31st overall. So for a moment I got excited to see a new name potentially going up to Alex Curto and Tom. But yeah, like the two of them, I know they are very fast drivers, so it's going to be interesting to see them during it out here as well, after we saw them all their masterclasses in ACC, both on TGT and, well, no. Oh wait, Alex Curto does not race on the track, my bad. So yeah, on TGT, the former Continental Circus, they are both really great drivers. Also, it's going to be interesting here in hypercars, as we are now seeing a lot of names that we used to see in TGT, also some names that we saw in V-Track. No, wait. Oh, wait, the name that we saw in V-Track, like the fastest VTuber I think in GTP at this point in time is Fonukai in 6th. So it looks like the VTubers are not really doing that well, are they? Except for Matt, of course.
Well, I think it's already... Well, yeah, you have to remember, the VTubers are not professional racing drivers or professional esports drivers. We have some very quick guys in the server today, especially looking at people that have already raced with us in the past. Ichan de Jong, Edwin Law, Joseph German. Those are names that we know, and names that we know can be very fast. So for Polo to be up in P6 right now is absolutely great. And of course, as you said already, and as we saw, Omet Ohm is currently in the lead for the GT3s even.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, as you said, those names in the top 5, we know most of them, with some new entries apparently. Also, Sasha Dechov, another name that we're familiar with, especially from Continental Circus, being here. Also, one thing I just noticed, I opened the Sebring page on Wikipedia that shows the lap records. It looks like everyone is going in hypercars is going almost 2 seconds faster than the fastest lap time ever recorded by hypercars here at Sebring.
What is the fastest lap time ever recorded?
It is a 147.885 by Sebastian Buemi in the 2023 1000 miles of Sebring. So that's interesting to see that they are actually 2 seconds faster. This lap that De Jong set 145.808 is 2 seconds and a few hundreds faster than the fastest lap time IRL. So safe to say, our drivers here got hands. They know how to drive fast, and I'm all in for it.
Absolutely
amazing.
Absolutely, it's gonna be interesting to see. We have Edwin Law right now trying to improve on the lap. Does improve, not going into P1 for now.
Yeah, that was a 37-1, sadly.
The target time is a 1:45.808 for Edwin Law, so we'll have to see what he can do this lap around. Also, we have a recurring, finally returning driver, I have to say, Reska Kyoso, today with us in the Toyota Hypercar.
Not bad, Reska. Yeah, that is indeed a name we haven't seen in quite a while. I think last time I saw him, well, at least myself, in a truck event was a few races ago in V-Truck. Like quite a lot of seasons ago in V-Truck actually. So it is nice to see Reska back here. We also could have almost had Akito Susagawa here as well, but due to reasons he couldn't be here. But I mean, we know that he's a fast driver. He's also the head of Mirai, so it would have been nice to see him here. But all the best to him. Now we see here Julian Messner, aka Julian Junior, P3 in GT3s. That is not bad at all.
Yeah, but he's almost an entire second, well, 7/10 down on Alex Curtin and Omet Ohm at the moment. So yeah, this does have to pick it up a little.
I also have to say, that's Omet Ohm and Alex Curtin.
Fair
those
enough.
people are pretty quick. So I mean, I think we can cut Julian a bit of slack.
Fair enough. They are very quick drivers.
Yeah. Hey, let's see how Julian Messner is going to finish the lap, because I feel like we could see some very good things here from the German. Like, we know Julian Messner can go faster. We saw him almost competing for a win at this Sachsenring in KCG against some pretty fast guys. We know that Julian Messner has also competed for wins, I think in TGT as well, and I think in Continental Circus, if I'm not mistaken. So we are going to see some very good times and a pretty good action from him. And let's see, that's an improvement I think, but not enough to get a position on Omet Ohm and or Alex Curto.
There was an improvement. There was an improvement by 1/10 exactly. Now, and here we see Tommy Leto, who is currently in P6 in the class, also looking to, well, gain a bit of ground. A new driver to the series. Nice to see new people coming as well. Leto, yeah.
Yeah, because of JJ Leto, like, if I'm not mistaken, he's Mr. Le Mans. No, wait, that's not Mr. Le Mans, but yeah. JJ Leto, we know him, he's a very fast driver that won a lot of things, IRL Le Mans. So, I mean, Tommy Leto, that sounds like another Finnish driver, and we know Finnish drivers, they're very quick, so I'm also expecting a lot of great things from our new driver here. And also, speaking of new drivers, I see a lot of names that I haven't seen before in quite a lot of the people, yeah. Like Car 777 in Hypercars. Fuji... my bad.
Butyrkaitis. Butyrkaitis must be a Greek driver. Must be.
Probably. But yeah, also a lot of new drivers in GT3 as well, so it is nice to see new drivers approaching the world of track.
Yeah, it also looks like Patrick Silvasi is getting ever closer to De Jong and Law at the top. Only with top 3 are now within half a second. Let's see, Silvasi is not scheduled to improve this time around, but we'll try to get ever closer now. And it seems there's sort of a meta developing. All of the top cars are, well, the top 6 cars currently are all Toyotas.
Yeah, looks like the Giro 10, despite being the oldest hypercar on the grid, is actually still competitive. The car still got hands. As we're also seeing a car that is not on the grid anymore, the Lamborghini GT3, also being quite competitive in the GT class. We see Zaid Saidi here, there is a Matt Tom in P2 overall. I also see P5 Bonfim. So, despite not running anymore, despite also not having, I would say, the greatest of seasons in 2024, the GT is still going pretty strong, not going to lie.
Yeah, it is still going strong, and there are a bunch of other cars as well going strong as we're looking at Adriel Bonfin right now. Another Lamborghini seems to be one of the crowd favorites here. See a couple of Lamborghinis on the grid, a couple of BMWs on the grid. Bonfin looking to catch up to Metzner here after Leto has put in a better lap, putting him into P3 now.
I said that Finnish drivers always do very well, so I'm glad that there was a disappointment by Tommy Leto. Now let's see here, Bonfim is going to approach the final sector real soon. I think those are the last few corners before the back straight. Okay, and now we are going on to the back straight. Wow. Oh, that's wide. That's a bit of grass. You do not want to mow grass here. That is going to slow you down quite a lot. I think it might also be track limits.
But
I'm not too sure.
It's not the first time I've seen that line being taken. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be the last lap now for Adriel Bonfin. Bonfin, I guess. Maybe a French name. I will go with that. That sounds good. Let's see. Will there be an improvement? Yes.
3.7. That's
an improvement, but not ahead of Julian Metzner, who is still up ahead.
3 tenths.
So,
3.5 tenths.
You see, there's still some people on laps, for example, Ichon De Jong here in Hypercars. He is, well, he is very close to his top lap time, judging by Sector 1 and Sector 2. Not quite sure if there's enough time in Sector 3 to be made up for him to actually gain the position as well, as the time for the qualifying has run out. So all of the laps that are now being finished are the final laps of the qualifying session. Ichon De Jong still in the last sector here. Let's take a look, coming across the finish line. Will this be an improvement? It will!
Yes, wow. That's an improvement. 145.698. That is impressive. Also, something that I want to say. It looks like the GTs are not as fast as they could be, because I'm seeing some IMSA lap records, some GT1 Challenge lap records, and it seems like GT3s could in real life go a little bit faster. I also know that the WCBOP kind of packs them down quite a lot. In theory, the GT3 drivers, compared to real life, could have 3 seconds to shave off, so that's interesting. As we're also seeing Edwin Law completing the lap here. Is that going to be enough to get pole position? No, but that's an improvement. And they place themselves 1/10 behind P1.
It gets very close, and that is the last of the finishes for the qualifying session. So that marks the end of the qualifying, for which we can see the results.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
So we have, for the start, Chen de Jong starting from top next to Edwin Law. Then second row we have Patrick Silvasi and Joseph German. Then we have Daniel Negaitsev followed by Polukai. We have Tina Curtis and Reska Kioso on row 4.
Interesting to see that Tina Curtis is the first non-Toyota that we see. Then two Aston Martins, Victorias Boutsakaitis and... I couldn't see it in time, I'm sorry. Then we have Son KP and Eric Grekis, the first Ferrari and the first Glickenhaus. Then G-Fox Foxington and Putera Daniel Halsey in row 7. Then row 8, Ben Lowe and Cunha da Silva. Hopefully, yes, Toyota that we are going to see on the grid. Then Dirty Kuhai and Arthur Maus in P9, the two Porsches. Row 10, we are going to see the GTs, Alex Curtin and Matt Ohm in the top 2. Then we have here Tommy Later and Julian Messner. Following them in row 12, Adriel Bonfirm and Liam Brownie. Interesting to see the Corvette places so high. Then Vasilis Katerinakis and Zay Sadi. Pretty good showing from Greek drivers, I have to say. Then Charlton Bertoni and Ubidius, both with NAV8s there. Now in row 15, Post Niklas Polik and Rigor Mortis. Row 16, Zir Alexandre, the local American, and Gary Slater, the local British. Both of them again in front engine, naturally aspirated V8s, and then the rest of the grid. That is going to be a pretty interesting race, I'm guessing.
It is absolutely going to be a stunner, and we'll have to see what happens. There is a whole bunch of black and red at the front as we have the Toyotas, followed by, funnily enough, and I will have to shout this out right now, 2 Aston Martin Valkyries.
I mean, good for them.
The Putikaitis and Dechkov really putting their skill on the track, followed by a Glickenhaus of Song KP. As we have the green flag, and we go to the beginning, we see Chen de Jong having a good start. In the back, we see everyone is sort of matching in together. However, 3 wide here between Polukai, Tina Curtis and Reska Kioso. We have Polukai now in front of Tina Curtis, who made up a few positions in the Cadillac. Right behind them, we have the 2 Vandals battling it out as well. In the front, however, it looks like Chen de Jong saved it in front of Edwin Law. For the GT3s, let's take a look back there. We have a leading battle between Alex Curtis and Lomet Ohm, or immediately raging Lomet Ohm, going for an overtake here.
But it's not close enough to send it. No, they're actually sending Ometov is actually sending it, and Alex Kurt has to concede. We are also seeing Leto ahead of Dylan Messner, so they were able to hit the P3, and then the rest of the GTs following. But nice overtake from Ometov, aggressive enough, and like they put the metal to the pedal, they went for it, and to be fair to them, they were able to do it very cleanly.
We have here Tommy Leto as we... There we go. Tommy Leto is in P3 now, defending from Julian Metzner right behind.
Yeah, and then right behind them there is another GT3, the Lamborghini of Bonfim.
And Omet Om is going slow.
Oh, they must have made a mistake. Shame we don't have a replay feature, but Tommy Leto is right now gunning it for P1 as there is now a 5-way battle for P1 in GT3s. Let's see now what... Oh, there is tight. Ometom is gunning it, but is that going to be enough? Looks like they're going to have the inside lane and they're going to be able to retake P1. They're almost going to wide to there. As Julian Metzler was able to strike P2. Alex Kurto lost a lot of positions in that kerfuffle, but I mean, we know him, he can strike back, he tries there. He's, I think, in P4, tried on Tommy Neto, but then gets overtaken around the outside by the Iron Lynx Lamborghini. Oh my god, oh, there is contact, and Alex Kurto might take advantage of it, maybe. I think Alex Kurto, I saw him in P4, yes. Wow, that's a battle. GT3s are not disappointing as there is a yellow flag somewhere here in the first sector. Hopefully no one had a bad crash, but wow, there is a start. That is a start here in GT3s as we are now seeing another battle in hypercars. 3 Toyota, oh, there is contact. There is some contact there. 3 Toyotas, a Cadillac and 2 Valkyries here battling it out for, I think, P5 overall. And that means that P4 really is a really good third gear in, and they said, well, thank you very much, I will see you next time, aka at the finish line. Wow! People here are really driving fast, really fast. That is impressive. I did not expect our drivers to be that fast. As we now see Nagetsev here in P6, trying to get the P5, but Dirtier might run an issue here for them.
Polukai just had a lot of overspeed right now, going for the overtake here ahead of Nagaitsev at the end of the back straight. Polukai, however, seems to just be a lot quicker right now as they are losing ground to the front of the grid. They're already 10 seconds behind Ichun de Jong at the front. Switching back to GT3s, however, we have a battle here going on where Alex Kurto is currently side by side with Julian Metz and Tommy Leto right behind that. Look at them three battling it out between one another.
Ooh, Omet they are so behind this group of GTs. What happened? Something must have happened to them, but well, oh, that was an Aston Martin hypercar that faced the wrong way. We saw it for a brief moment before they reset back to the base, but man, there is a battle in GT3s. That is a lovely action that we all like to see. It's not just the fastest cars that are going to get all the attention. Slower cars can also, you know, take some attention because hot damn they deserve it.
Absolutely, there's some close action here between the top, and unfortunately the Valkyrie that we saw turned around, that was Sasha Dechkov.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but I remember seeing Sasha Dechkov for their first race here in track in the Continental Circus in ACC. So it kind of hurts for me to see a face that we saw quite a lot here in track, having to spin and then reset back to the pits. But hey, I mean, is there technically still going, I guess? As we are now seeing Sean KP and I think G-Fox getting the position on Eric Gregis, but Eric Gregis is getting the position back on G-Fox as they went very wide. As we're also seeing some GT3s already getting lapped. I think those are the back markers of the back of the grid.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some people that did not get the best of the starts. Ichun de Jong, however, seemed to have gotten the start of his life here. 2.5 seconds ahead of Edwin Law, who's right behind, following there in the second of the Toyotas. The third of the Toyotas currently still with Patrick Savasi. But those, yeah, they're all pretty alone right now. They can still see the car that is ahead of them or behind them. However, not battling for anything right now. They will have to pit, however, as we see G-Fox here going for a move on Eric Gregis, not being able to pull through with it. However, a bit of a lockup, I think, there on the brakes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the first time we saw G-Fox locking up. I feel like their wheel is now shaking very heavily. I wouldn't want to be in G-Fox hands right now. I mean, I would hate to be in G-Fox hands, actually. But, like, that wheel must be shaking extremely hard right now, and there are still 53 minutes left to go. So, yeah, good luck, G-Fox. You will need all the luck in the world in order for your hands to not die, as we are now going back to the battle in P1 in GT3s. As we are seeing, I think, a back marker in the GT3s. That's Iron Days Porsche. They will have to deal with these front markers, I think that's how you call them, here in Julian Messner and Alex Curto, as, oh boy, that back marker might want to, well, they don't have to get out of the racing line, but they might want to, because these guys are coming in hot, so please be careful about your rearview mirrors, because it is going to get feisty here, as they're going to approach the last few corners of this technical sector, as we are now seeing Julian Master getting slowed down by this back marker, and Alex Curto taking full advantage of it. Almost taking his side, but that might be a slow line for Alex Curto. I mean, they're taking it. They're taking the position, and looks like, yeah, Alex Curto is right now temporarily in P1 with Julian Master right behind them.
I
So
cannot
still straight back.
I cannot believe the bravery there of Julian Metzner pulling into the slipstream there with barely a millimeter between the two cars as he goes wide and he loses it into the wall there for Julian Metzner. That must be some damage for the GT3 driver from Germany, losing position after the position, now behind Leto and Bonfin in P4 for Julian Metzner.
Oh no, that is absolutely not what you want to see. Julian Messner could have. It sucks. Like, I think they just braked a little bit late, or maybe the car got a little bit unsettled and they're braking over a bump. That must hurt, because Julian Messner had a solid shot at winning here, and that hurts. That hurts to see. One of our potential winners having an issue here. That's just painful. As also, Julian Messner will have to deal with the back marker again along with Bonfim, but luckily here it didn't cause too many issues, so they were able to get past very easily. I mean, it's still a P4, so Julian Messner could still aim at the podium, but that's not an ideal situation, is it?
Yeah, he's definitely going to aim for the podium as well. He's right behind Adriel Bonfin, battling for P3. It is going to be a question, however, of, well, first of all, can he make it past? And second of all, how much damage has he sustained in that crash into the wall? It was a pretty side-on crash. Luckily, it's not like a wheel went flying or something. I saw that yesterday. That sort of stuff happens. Luckily not here so far. But yeah, he is going to have to make it past, and Bonfin is not a slow driver.
Yeah, that is true. And also we saw that the Lamborghinis here are not slow cars either. We saw Omet being very fast in qualifying. We also saw Bonfim and they say also being pretty quick, as we are now seeing Sonkepi in the pits. There are a lot of people pitting already, probably for damage. I do not know if there is a mandatory pit stop,
well,
but
there's two things. There's two things to that. Number one, hypercars will have to pit. Yes, however, hypercars have about a 45-minute stint timer. So pitting now for anything, that is basically just repairing damage because you have to. And also there are a bunch of other cars in the pits who were on the entry list because they got loaded in and then they did not start attending, or they went out early. As we see Julian Metzner trying to go for a move here, not quite wide enough. Oh boy.
Yeah, that is not going to be an easy one. Julian Metzner looks like they really want to gun it for P1. Are they going to try it here? Maybe? Question mark? Yes! Julian Metzner sending it around inside at that hairpin, but Adriel Bonfim can still pretty well. Like, they're a fast driver, they're in a fast car, so they could strike back. Let's see here. Julian Messner will have to watch the rearview mirror just in case. But no, Adrian Bonfim does not. Maybe a better exit. Yeah, that looks like Bonfim got a better exit, but Julian Messner is defending really hard. Maybe Bonfim could. No. They're not going to try it here. But Julian Messner missing an apex there. However, that was a faster exit, as I also saw, I think, P1 in hypercars catching them up. So yeah, they will also have to deal with faster traffic, as that is Adron de Jong having to deal with slower cars here with the GT3s. Well, that was pretty easy. We will have to see how the rest of the hypercar grid will deal with these GTs, but damn, it's going to be difficult. Jose Ferman touching, I think, Omet Om. That is... Ooh. That is multi-class racing, brothers.
That is multi-class racing. Joseph German was just about to catch up to Patrick Salvasi in front as well. Well, doesn't look quite as good anymore between the two. We also have Reska Kioso on the hunt for Tina Curtis right ahead with the Cadillac. So it looks like there are going to be some battles brewing up between different hypercars. Reska Kioso here on the hunt, as we see, and there are a bunch of backmarkers up ahead, so we'll have to see how they navigate them.
Yeah, I know from experience, having run the 12 hours of Sebring in the iRacing, GT traffic can be quite nasty, like, because you might encounter them in very tricky points, like here. Lucky they were able to send it before those three slow corners, but oh, that was a spinning Mustang, I think.
That was Ubidius, yes, who's being followed by Omet Omir. This is a battle for position between the two.
Yeah. Oh boy, that was a bit crazy there. I think there was some contact between Omet Om and Ubidius while they were getting laughed by these two, as Rescatios is still chasing Tina Curtis.
Yeah, and it seems we also see the best lap time comparison between the two, which is just 2 tenths between one another. So yeah. The two are pretty on pace with one another. However, last time around, Reska Kioso was almost 7 tenths up ahead. And now, obviously, since they are in the multi-class, they're in the gist of it, in the thick of it, as they say in the UK.
Oh, that was a... Was that Julian Messner? Was that Julian Messner going slow there? I think it was Julian Messner who was off track, going slow. More problems for the German here. That might be the damage from before biting him, but I do not know. But that is not something you want to see here if you're Julian Messner.
And that now means that Said Sardi's head is hot on his heels. That's the word. Hot on his heels, trying to get the position ahead of the German. But back to this battle in the hypercars. We have Reska Kioso getting close, but we have also another battle right now. We have Joseph German finally getting close again to Patrick Salvasi after the incident we saw earlier between... Well, was it an incident? Was it just some backmarker shenanigans catching up to them in the bad spot of the track? Probably the second. But there is a battle coming up now between the two for P3. Yeah,
and they also need to be careful about not locking up, because, as a reminder, hypercars do not have ABS. So as soon as one of them locks up, and seeing how good and fast they are, I don't think either of them is going to lock up. That might throw a wrench in their plans, but I'm confident we're not going to see said wrench. We're going to see a lot of good action here. However, Jose Ferman needs to be careful about where and when they decide to send it, because, you know, these cars are pretty fast for Sebring, in my opinion, and unless you're very close, it's going to be difficult to send it, but if you are very close, you might suffer a lot from dirty air, so we will see.
Well, what we can see also in the background is there is a bit... It's darker now. The sky seems to be rather cloudy at the moment.
Ooh, so maybe we could see some rain.
Maybe. Or maybe we'll just see the track cool down a bit, because that's also happening. So people will have to adjust. Track cooling down, the tires cooling down. You will not be able to push as hard as you could otherwise.
Yeah, that is true. And to be fair, some people might argue, well, if the track is cooler now, I can just sand it harder, which means my tires will not heat up as much as they would otherwise, as we see now. Jose Ferman showing their nose on the inside of Patrick Silvasi, but not close enough to sand it. Nonetheless, that's going to mean that the driver in P3 will have to keep an eye on the rear view mirrors under braking zones, because that could be very, very difficult if it was Patrick Silvasi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they need to drive with 3 eyes.
Yeah, 3 eyes. Oh boy, yeah. I mean, as a racing driver,
on the road. Yeah, sorry.
Two eyes on the road, 1 eye on the rear view camera, 1 eye on the left mirror, 1 eye on the right mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you need to have a lot of eyes to be able to defend from a very aggressive Jose Ferman that really wants that podium position.
But it looks like there's a bit of an advantage now for Patrick Silvasi. Has had a bit of... will have a bit of a quiet time now compared to earlier. Reska Kioso, in the meanwhile, is currently having a bit of a static gap to Tina Curtis up in front of about a second. But this battle is not over yet. Reska Kioso still looking to make up that P7 position.
Yeah, I feel like Reska could do it, but Tina Curtis is not a slouch either. We also see, I think that's an Aston Martin hypercar ahead. I'm not sure who that is, but both the Aston Martin hypercars are full laps down, and there is the other Greek driver, Pusikatis. Apologies if I mispronounced it, that's DNF. That's not a good day for the Valkyrie. Now Reska Kioso still chasing here Tina Curtis, but the gap... I don't think that Reska Kioso can actually do much here. Like, yeah, you're right behind them, but... okay, you're 1 second stance behind. Like, there is only so much you can do except waiting for a driver mistake from the car ahead. So, it's going to be really difficult for Reska Kioso to actually do much here. I mean, hopefully we're going to see, for our own entertainment, some very nice action here on the track. But, I mean, if I were in Tina Curtis, I would hope for nothing to happen.
Yeah, I mean, no one can hope for anything to happen to themselves, to be quite honest. But Tina Curtis looking like in a very good position right now. Reska Kioso, though, look at the speed he's gaining coming into this last sector right here. It was just a very short straight, but it seems that the slipstream really worked out there for Reska Kioso combined with the exit. Obviously, he has some experience here, regularly racing around here in iRacing, which, well, to be fair, it is a bit different, but you still know the basic track layout, basically.
Yeah.
Quite some experience coming the way of Reska Kioso there, as we can see. Maybe it's just the caddy having a bit better acceleration there out of that corner, but it seems that Tina Curtis gained a little time there.
Yeah, it could... well, to be fair, you would think that the Toyota would actually have a bit of a better traction from exits, because the hybrid is going to be deployed at the front, so it's going to have fast corners, all-wheel drive. So, is that some rain I saw? I think I saw a bit of drops of rain. It could have been some dust picked up by one of the cars ahead, but I think I saw a few drops of rain there.
I'm pretty sure it is dust. I'm pretty sure it is dust.
Yeah, it was dust. I got hyped for a second for nothing.
That's okay. That's okay. Another, well, let's just say another part of the track that got hyped is the fans of Aston Martin, I guess. We only have one running car, who is right now ahead of this battle that we were just seeing. Sasha Dechkov, 2 laps down, currently on the leader. but is still running. It seems like the Aston Martin is at least capable of getting past 20 minutes without mechanical issues.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like it is very capable of actually not breaking down, which is actually pretty realistic, as the car IRL showed some quite nice reliability, as we're now seeing Sarthe deck of letting the battle for P7 by. Also, speaking of reliability, we are not seeing any Peugeot here on the grid, and also only one Ferrari, so that is interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly speaks to the favorites that people are playing. People have their favorites brand with which they will be racing today, and it seems that there are not many Peugeot or Ferrari fans today in attendance.
Yeah, also I would like to point your attention to the battle for P1 and GTs, as it seems like Alex Curto seems to have had some problems, as I don't think they are racing anymore. Yeah, we have Tommy Leto here in P1, followed by Adriel Bonfam, and I do not see Alex Curto nor Omet Om anywhere close to P1.
Well,
if
Alex...
anything, GT3 looks like a graveyard. We have from P7 downwards, everyone down at least one lap. Ometon very far from top 5, and then top 5 somewhat normal. Wow.
Yeah, GT3 seems to be about survival today, mostly.
Yeah.
And Tommy Leto is currently the one that has survived the best, being 8 seconds ahead of Adriel Bonfin, who's currently in 2nd place. Julian Metz now having inherited P3 once again, with Sarthe being 8 seconds down the road too.
Yeah, wow, I mean, I did not expect the GT race to die so quickly. We saw some great action at the beginning, but now, I mean, everything moved back to the hypercars, especially this battle between Rescacchios and Tina Curtis. I'm also tuning in into Rescacchioso's live stream to see some action from the onboard. And I mean, the car is there, Resca can see it, but I mean, can you really strike back? Ooh, Rescacchioso looks like he's getting a bit of a better line to the last corner. And it seems like they're able to get some tense here on the exit. I think that Rescacchioso also knocked the wheel a bit out of alignment, but man, this battle is going to up in the remaining 35 minutes of this race.
Yeah, and what will also be interesting is we will have to see some pitting by all of the hypercars involved, so
yeah,
there can be some shenanigans going on there. Obviously, as I said, this is a new sim. It basically only came out a couple of weeks ago into full release. Some of the drivers here today will not have very many hours in the sim yet, and maybe not even their first pitting experience. Hopefully they did practice it in some capacity beforehand, because they will need it definitely.
Yeah, I'm also remembering one thing. There are collisions in the pit lane. So I hope our drivers will remember that. Rescacchioso going down the inside of Tina Curtis in that braking zone. Looks like the exit didn't pay off for Rescacchioso, but man, the British driver is really trying to sending it. He's really trying to get the position and saying, hey, I'm faster than you, give me that position right now. Wow, I did not expect that move from Rescacchioso.
Well, we'll have to see. Tina Curtis is definitely not one that will give up a position just like that. So Resca will have to battle for it. Absolutely. There's no question about it. Well, okay, there might be the slight opportunity to not get just get a better pit stop. But
yeah,
that will still mean that he will have to do something quite a lot better than Tina Curtis, as he's pulling up right now.
Yeah, but right now, Rescacchioso is going to suffer from that dirt here, as they're not going to lap that Porsche. That was a bit scary. But man, luckily they both survived, and I mean, we might see something at the hairpin here with Rescacchioso using this slipstream and maybe sending it hard on the brakes. So let's see how the situation will evolve here. Rescacchioso sitting in this slipstream. Now what is going to see? Tina Curtis is going is half committing a defense for a moment as Rescatioso comes really Tina Curtis. That is a great battle in the making. Wow.
Absolutely, this is a great battle between the two. There's also another battle brewing on the circuit. Patrick Silvasi is catching up to Edwin Law for P2, but they're currently about a second. There's currently a second between them, thereabouts. We also have Pavlik catching up to Rigor Mortis here. That is for P8 in the GT3 class. Also a second between them right now. But yeah, as we have the people chatting as well in the live chat, if you hit someone in the pits, it is a pit maneuver quite literally today, as there are collisions in the pits. Just getting past the Corvette there.
But now Rescatioso is less than 3 times behind Tina Curtis. Maybe if he uses this lift, he might send it here. But you know, never say never. Maybe turn 1 now, depending on the exit they get. As Rescatioso takes a tighter line on the entry, I think Tina Curtis is going to be able to get a much faster exit. Look at the gap increasing.
Oh yeah, and Tina Curtis also seemingly getting a better line of entry into T1 here. I mean, it is pretty much the widest corner in the entire world. But still.
Yeah, but Rescatioso gained quite a lot. Everything Rescatioso lost in the last corner gained in the first one, as they are now again battling pretty close here, as they are going to head towards that hairpin. Wow, car got a little bit unsettled for Rescatioso. So they're going to lose some time here on the exit, and you know what they say, the two things that matter the most when it comes to setting fast lap times is corner entry and corner exit, but we're not seeing Rescatioso sending it from quite far away. It looks like they're able to get the position, but Tina Curtis will probably be pretty mad about it, as they will probably try and counter overtake here on the inside. Wow! What a battle! Tina Curtis was like, what did you just do to me? I'm not taking that well. And the counter overtook right back. Wow! This is great!
It's absolutely amazing, the two not giving each other an inch. So, wow.
Wow, indeed. That is fantastic. That is amazing, Ash. Wow!
On another part of the circuit, we also have Joseph German catching up to Patrick Silvasi, who now lost a bit more ground to the front of, well, Edwin Law. Just 2 seconds now between the two, but Silvasi now has to contend with Joseph German coming up from behind. So the battle for even the top ranks of the hypercar class is not over yet.
And it's very true. It is going to be interesting. It is going to be extremely interesting, not going to lie.
Oh my, yeah, Joseph German having, well, the thing is, if you're in the slipstream around here, there are 3 quite long straights. As we have 30 minutes remaining, we're halfway through the race. So if you have slipstream, I think you're in quite a good advantage, especially if you're driving the same car as the car ahead, as we see these two Toyotas battling it out here. Very close to one another as they're lapping.
There is a slow Alpine. Okay, the Alpine letting them by, also going to track. I mean, you don't have to do that, guys. Well, also, Putera, Daniel Halsey going into the pits. You don't have to get that much out of the way, guys, don't worry. As Jose Ferman is still chasing Patrick Silvasi, as the gap is now 3.5 tenths. It has gone down by, I think, 1 tenth or something. So it will be interesting to see how the situation will evolve here, going onwards from here.
Also looking back into GT3s now, we have Pavlik catching up to Rigor Mortis, getting ever closer. This is again a battle between two, well, same manufacturers. We have 2 Porsches battling it out here. Pavlik, of course, trying to get P7 here, the 108. And it seems like there was a little bit of an error by Rigor Mortis, who who loses quite a lot of time here going onto the grass. This was a pretty easy overtake for Pavlik, safely done. And now it's just about hot lapping again, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, well, it's not just back to hot lapping, but also back to watch your rearview mirrors, because there are hypercars coming up really quick and really hot.
And there are a few people pitting now. Polukai made it safely out of the pits. Sarthe is currently, interestingly, in the pits. And Reska Kioso is very close to Tina Curtis once again, because there are a few GT3 cars around on the same part of tarmac.
Yeah, as I think there is also Leto, so I think the like half of the hypercar grid has been able to lap the GTs, as now Tina Curtis is trying to go defensive as Reska Kioso tries to take contact again. There is so much contact with these guys, like they are really not giving each other any room. Like it's like a Mexican standoff with a lot of door banging, door bashing, like wow.
I would call it a Floridian standoff. Florida man versus Florida woman, I guess. Battling it out here.
Oh, as Reska Kioso sends it down inside, but Tina Curtis is able to defend around the outside. No, never mind. The guy got unsettled. Reska Kioso was able to, but Tina, I think they got the better exit here. Reska Kioso has to concede the inside. So we will see now here in the last corner what will happen. The Cadillac technically has a bit of a higher top speed. Reska Kioso is defending it around the outside. Is Reska Kioso going better run through the last corner? Not Tina Curtis sends it on the inside. And wow, we are back to square one. Reska Kioso has yet to overtake again Tina Curtis, but it looks like he's doing it around the outside. Reska Kioso, the absolute madman.
No, that cannot work. How did that work? How did Reska Kioso make this work? What a move around the outside in T1 and making it stick thereafter. Holy hell. No. It's almost like Reska, each time he tried before, was like, nah, this was too easy, let's try again. Nah, this was too easy, let's try again. Let's try it around the outside, give them something for the broadcast. Beautifully done by Reska Kioso.
Alternatively, he could have said, well, everything around the inside didn't work. Let's try around the outside. I have yet to try that. Looks like it worked.
Fair enough. What a move in any case. Going back to the GT3s for a second, we do have currently Adriel Bonfin in the lead ahead of Julian Metzner. It seems like Tommy Leto went to the pits is quite a lot down. As we also have Sarthe pitting in once again. Must be an issue for the Lamborghini driver. Maybe that's why they quit WEC, because of the mechanical issues that Sarthe is facing right now, as Rigor Mortis also is in the pits, and of course Alex Curto having retired earlier.
I'm actually going on a different theory from you. I feel like people are driving on medium tires, which means they're going to wear out very quickly, and they will have to switch them rather than going for hards. So yeah, I think a bunch of GT drivers just put the wrong tires on for the race, and maybe Bonfirm and Metzner, maybe they went on hard tires and they could potentially go the whole race without having to pit, when everyone that put medium tires on has to pit.
I mean, I will honestly say I don't think medium tires will wear out this quickly. Having raced higher classes, it doesn't feel like the tires wear out that quickly. But I mean, I may stand corrected. Talking to drivers afterwards, we will be able to find it out after the fact. What we will find out right now, though, is Edwin Law, who seems to be catching up to Ichon De Young. It's only 1.2 seconds between the two now. Law is edging ever closer to the lead.
Yeah, Edwin Law really catching up slowly and steadily, but nonetheless catching up. The GR010, De Jong might really have an issue on their hands, as Jose Ferman is on the back rear bumper of Patrick Silvasi, and it doesn't. Ooh, well, I was about to say it doesn't look like he will go anywhere anytime soon, but then, well, that happened. So, sorry, Josef, my bad.
Yeah, we also... I mean, there are two battles going on right now on the track. It seems Joseph German here against Patrick Silvasi and Edwin Law against Yichen de Jong up ahead. And it seems like Yichen de Jong is just getting very slow right now because Edwin Law is almost on his rear bumper already. Look at this. It seems the black Ferrari has the edge today.
I think... Oh, is that a Ferrari? No, that's a Toyota.
Toyota. The black Toyota has the edge today. I'm sorry.
But yeah, don't worry. But yeah, Edwin Law like caught up more than 1 second as Anton de Jong is going into the pits, I think. Yeah, Anton de Jong is sending it into the pits for the, I don't think it is a mandatory pit stop.
No, it's not mandatory.
Technically, hypercars will have to do it nonetheless, regardless of mandatory or not, because the fuel tank is not going to be big enough for a whole hour of racing, right? It was 45 minutes at most.
Mechanically speaking, it is a mandatory pit stop. You can eke it out if you lift and coast up to 50 minutes, but an hour, that is just impossible. And so every one of these people will have to pit. That was the Young pitting. Edwin Law would be the next one to potentially pit.
Yeah, but also Patrick Silvasi catching up really quickly. So Edwin Law also going pretty slow here right now in P1. So looks like both the Toyotas in P1 are really slowing down once they get there.
Well, yeah. I mean... But why? But why? I mean,
I do not know.
I don't understand what is going on. Is it just a lack of concentration on their part? It is just a, quote unquote, just a sprint race, being an hour long. But still, it does seem like that's the case. Just a lack of concentration on some parts, allowing other people to catch up, and now we have the top three, as we see in the background. Joseph German here almost losing it on the exit.
Yeah, I mean, Herman lost so much ground from Patrick Silvasi. I think they might have flat spotted the tire or something might have happened, because I do not understand how you can lose so much time while you were previously right on the bumper of the car ahead. So, I mean, interesting to see. That is very weird.
And also we have Sarthe, hopefully with the working car now, right behind Zula Kihara, who is driving the Bend Beamer today. Beautiful to see that.
Yeah, very good race on Zul as well.
It is a race of consistency so far, it seems, from Zula Kihara, leading ahead of Sarthe for P5 position right now, but it seems like Sarthe, especially having been quicker early on and having had 2 pit stops now, or 2 drive-throughs, well, 2 times into the pits anyways, will want to get that back.
Yeah, probably. I would expect Zul, knowing that he's a very fast driver, to defend it with an ace, but it's Sarthe, we know that they are a very fast driver, so Zul will really have to defend hard from that Lamborghini, as I think we are now seeing Tina Curtis. I think that this earlier pit stop lapping them. So Reska also was able to get the position temporarily, but we will see after the pit stop if the battle between the two will resume.
Exactly, after the pits is when everything will be clear, and it seems like not many hypercars have pit yet. Maybe some are trying to extend their stints as far as they can, trying to find out whether they need to switch their tires at some point, or another as Edwin Law. Oh, there was a BMW there in the background getting a bit squirrely. That was G-Fox, I believe. Yeah, going into the pits.
Yeah, the only BMW hypercar, as they're really taking it slow here for the entry. So, ooh, Patrick Silvasi, watch out, because they were able to catch up so much to Edwin Law, as they are now able to get P1. Edwin Law must have made some sort of mistake to lose. I think the gap was 3 seconds at one point. Something must have happened. Maybe car got a bit too squirrely. Maybe there was something else. But man, Edwin did something that made them lose so much time.
And it seems like Patrick Silvasi also had a worse best lap time so far. So Edwin Law really just not on his top right now. Last lap though,
yeah.
Comparing, well, we don't have a last lap from either of the drivers due to it being invalid, I reckon. As G-Fox is now exiting the pits already. But yeah, it looks like Patrick Silvasi is just pulling a gap, and Joseph German is seeing this unfolding right in front of him. I
mean, Jose Ferman, because let's remember, that's the Mexican driver, probably got first row tickets with popcorns and I don't know, also some water, bottle soda, to a great battle. So I mean, he can probably just sit back and enjoy. He doesn't need to do anything else. He just needs to stay there, enjoy the spectacle, and not lose ground.
I mean, who can actually sit back and enjoy is Putero Daniel Hasri, who is right behind this lap down in the Alpine. Enjoy this battle between the top 3 drivers, because they are going to start once again. Patrick Silvasi going on the defensive here on the back straight before the last corner. However, Edwin Law going for the switchback here after a last second change. However, that was a bit of a lockup. Yeah, it seems that Silvasi has the advantage. However, Joseph German is now getting very close. And don't you dare correct me again. I know he is Mexican and is pronounced Herman, but he is German, damn it.
Okay. Alright, I will not do that, but Jose Ferman trying it? Ooh, almost. Alright, I mean, the Mexican driver said to Edwin Law, "Hi, I'm here. Better watch your rearview mirror." And probably Edwin Law will have to watch the rearview mirror here, because Herman could take this slipstream and send it on the hairpin. Let's see if they're going to do that. I think they're a bit too far to do it. Yeah, Edwin Law was actually the one sending it, and lost time. The car got a bit loose on the exit, and Herman didn't really have to do anything. They just had to sit there and, well, just enjoy the spectacle. Herman maybe trying it on the inside. They had to yell, but man, Edwin Law will really have not a fun time here, having to deal with a fast car rapidly approaching from behind. Also, I think this top 3 will have to pit soon, because I don't think they can go much longer on their tank of fuel, especially seeing how hard they all pushed and how fast they're all going. As Edwin Law is in the... Who is that? Is that a... Oh, wait a second, that was Lucky Hara spinning, but Jose Ferman, if the game does count pit entries on the white line, might give them a penalty. I don't know how LMU works in regards to the white line on pit entry and exit, but if it does count it, Jose Ferman is really not going to have a good time.
In any case, we do have Edwin Law and Jose Ferman now in the pits, which means Patrick Silvasi is able to completely lead the race for now anyways. It is already...
Ooh, that's on grass.
Yeah, it is already 45 minutes out, so it's... Well... I mean, after 45 minutes is usually when a hypercar hits.
Yeah. I mean, they will have to pit real soon, because I do not expect them to be able to go for much longer.
Or maybe they found something, as did Reska Kioso, who's currently in P3.
Yeah, ahead of Tina Curtis by 7-point-something seconds. I think they've both pitted, so interesting to see.
Oh, they have they pitted?
think so.
No, they
I mean,
haven't. They were just
they
driving
haven't,
the
huh?
entire time. Josef Herman
Oh,
and
okay.
Edwin Law are behind that now. Oh, Edwin Law losing quite a lot of time to Joseph German. 6 seconds behind now.
Oh, I'm also looking at tracc.eu stream, and he has 2.5 laps of virtual energy tank. So we will see the British driver going on for, I think, a bit longer.
Yeah, but it will not last the entire race, so there will be some pits going on. Patrick Salvasi will also come into the pits sooner or later. Probably sooner.
Yeah, probably sooner. I do not expect this Toyota to be able to go for much longer. Probably this lap I would expect the Toyota to drive into the pits, or maybe the next one, but I would not expect them to go for a lot longer, as we're now seeing Charlton Bertoni here, our resident British tracc.eu staff member on the Lexus. Very good car choice. Man, I mean, he survived. To be fair,
he survived.
GT3, yeah, GT3 looks like was a race of survival. Like, all you have to do in GT3 is just die. And looks like Charlton Bertoni was able to do it pretty well, not going to lie.
Yeah, Charlton Bertoni has been able to survive, has been able to get his Lexus to almost the end of the race so far. There's just a bit more time left as Uwe Diaz right now is pitting in. And
yeah,
we have Julian Metzner as well pitting in. That's the leader right now for GT3s in front of Linian Brown, who is also pitting in now. It seems that GT3s do have to do a pit stop as well. Sasha Dechkov as well in right now for the scheduled pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they might have problems with virtual energy. So while the fuel might last for the entire race, looks like virtual energy does not last for the entire race. So that's interesting.
And here we have Silvasi pitting in now with just 11 minutes left on the clock. We'll have to see. Will Reska Kioso be able to get a lead lap out of this, or will he have to pit right now?
I think he will pit. I do not think he will have enough virtual energy to keep on going, but we will see that really soon. As we are now seeing Reska Kioso going again for an extra lap.
No.
Diving into the pits. I thought that because they crossed the white line, they wanted to go for an extra lap, but no.
It was just
also diving into the pits.
It was just no other car around, no need to, get into the lines at the beginning, I guess, as Patrick Salvasi is leaving the pits once again. Seems to have just been a splash and dash because he's... Well, Tina Curtis is still going, though.
Oh, Tina Curtis going for longer. I mean, hopefully they will not run below the virtual energy tank while still having some fuel, because if they do, that car is nervous on the bumps. Hold up. I mean, I don't think that's damage. Is that just how the Cadillac handles the bumps of Sebring? I mean, that looks interesting. Oh yeah, hopefully they will not go over their virtual energy tank limits, as if you do that, you will get slapped with a penalty from the stewards. So be careful, guys, if you go over your virtual energy tank limits.
And another thing that we have to point out right now is that Adrian Bonfin is catching up to Tommy Lito, who is leading in the GT3 class. But they're already in the same shot now. It's just 9.5 minutes left on the clock, and they are 2.5 seconds out from one another. A beautiful view that Adrian Bonfin has up ahead now on his Mercedes counterpart in class.
Yeah, I mean, is Adrian Bonfin going to be able to do much though? Because Tommy Leto, they're ahead of everyone, and it doesn't look like they're losing a lot of time to anyone. So I would expect Tommy Leto to just keep P1 unless something happens, and knowing the commentator's curse, I should probably shut up. Oh man, Continental really sending it. Like the Finnish driver, I think that is their truck debut race. That's a fire debut, not going to lie.
It's absolutely a great race by Tommy Leto here.
Ooh, Reska also spun! That's the yellow flag, Reska also spun! Ooh, cold tires are really biting the British driver, and I mean, if you want to be able to keep the position on Tina Curtis, that's not what you want to do, really. So I think Tina Curtis is still going!
Still going!
On the Cadillac! Wow!
Is she really trying to extend it to an hour?
I mean, Ferrari was able to do that last in 2024 Le Mans, so I would say it is not impossible. It is technically not impossible. We will see whether Tina Curtis will be able to do that, but could technically be possible.
I mean,
wow.
that would be amazing. Another thing as well, Ichon de Jong just had a yellow flag and is now behind Reska Kioso, having been just in front before. So this is the battle for P7 now. Ichon not having had a good pit stop at all is now 50 seconds behind the lead.
So yeah, to the person in chat, Nozume, that asked, where is Eton? Well, there they are. Not in a great position, sadly, for one of our potential race winners, to be fair. Eton de Jong really had a solid race, but something must have happened because they're really behind everyone and everything. Now, granted, there are people that have yet to pit. Tina Curtis is pitting. They went as far as possible with that Cadillac. And we will see if they will be able to exit the pits ahead of Reska Kioso. I mean, let's remember, Reska did a mistake that made them spun, so probably Tina Curtis will likely be able to exit ahead of Reska Kioso, but we will have to see, especially because Reska Kioso will have warm tires compared to Tina Curtis, so it's going to be tricky. Tina Curtis, I think, out of the pits soon. Yeah, they're out of the pits. Tina Curtis is out of the pits.
And Reska Kioso is behind that.
Yeah, but Reska Kioso will have to contend with Eton de Jong as they let them by, and Tina Curtis will also have to deal with cold tires. They will have to warm them up really quickly, as Eton de Jong and Reska Kioso are both on warm tires and can just catch up. And I mean, being on colder tires while there is Eton de Jong catching up on warmer tires, I wouldn't want to beat Tina Curtis right now.
It's absolutely going to be a challenge for Tina Curtis, trying to stay ahead here. I mean, it is 3.5 seconds still between her and Ichon de Jong, but we know that Ichon is very quick, obviously, was in the lead for quite a lot of the race, and Reska Kioso is already losing a bit of ground to Ichon, it seems now, after the move has been completed, who is, by the way, very quickly catching.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, on one hand it's Eton de Jong, on the other, as we said, tires are really going to be a very important factor here, as there are no tire warmers. Yes, Reska Kioso goes straight! Well, that is the esports.
So does Charles Bertoni in the back.
Yeah, I think the Lexus saw the big brother Toyota do that and was like, well, might as well do that for the family. And send it just straight there.
Family. Family.
Family.
Family.
Family. I love that we thought about the same thing.
Beautiful. But Ichon de Jong, yeah, unfortunate for him, having had a bit of trouble, it seems, at some point. All the better, however, for Patrick Silvasi, who is 7 seconds in the lead now, ahead of Joseph German. Behind that in P3, 5 seconds behind German, we have Edwin Law. Also having had a bit of trouble, it seems. Daniil Negaitsev is in P4, followed by Polukai, who had a very quiet but very good race, keeping it up so high the entire time. 8 seconds behind that we have, of course, Tina Curtis, who is being chased down by Ichon de Jong. And Reska Kioso is the last car on the lead lap, it seems. But not the last car running. There are quite a lot more cars running. A special shout out to the Glickenhaus, which is still running despite being a Glickenhaus.
Is that a Lamborghini without a rear wing?
That is a Lamborghini without the rear wing, yes.
That might be slightly suboptimal. That Lamborghini might look just a little bit of rear grip, so yeah, that's not great. That is not great at all.
Okay, now I have to remember who all drove Lamborghini. Was it on Mats Olm? It was on Mats Olm, indeed.
Ooh, on Mats Olm in P7, still going strong technically. So I mean, good on Omet for actually keeping it together. Oh, that is such an unstable car under braking. They will really have to.
I mean,
yeah, the car is so nervous.
Half of the rear downforce is basically slashed from the Lamborghini. So of course it will have trouble on the braking.
Yeah, that is the Lamborghini 9X8 GT3. As yeah, we saw that. The effect of no rear wing biting the 9X8 in the back, yeah, that is not great. But yeah, Lambo has been indeed Peugeotified. Peugeotified? I mean, would you pronounce the T since there are letters after that?
It is French. Peugeotifique.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, she's not really winging it. Yes, you are correct. She's not really winging it anymore. Ethan de Jong is also not winging it, having had quite a bit of practice. Tina Curtis drifting! What? I mean, is Cadillac known for being a car partaking in the Formula Drift or what? What was this?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, wrong car for Formula Drift. You want to keep it gripping, as Tina Curtis will really have to go with a strong defense against Ethan de Jong. But is that defense stronger than family? We will see. We will see, because nothing is stronger than family. So that defense might crack under Ethan de Jong's assaults, as they're now catching up on, I think they said it, that could maybe throw a wrench into the battle for Tina Curtis. Maybe. No, Ethan de Jong did not lose any time from Tina Curtis with that back marker, so they're back to square one. Ethan de Jong chasing Tina Curtis, and I wouldn't want to be Tina right now.
But he has not been this close, really, so we'll have to see. What can he do? Maybe with a bit of a slipstream. Here we're coming onto the long straight, the longest straight on the circuit, actually, we're on right now. But it seems that Tina Curtis also has the slipstream from the GT3s, so we'll be able to stay ahead quite easily here. Who has the better line?
Yeah,
not the Lamborghini in the background.
That was Omet Tom spinning, I think, almost into the barriers, as they're now rejoining from this curve. No, not really this curve circuit, man. That was a big spin from the Lamborghini, as Ethan de Jong has now lost a lot of time from Tina Curtis. That V8 of that Cadillac really pulled its weight.
And the last lap has been started. We are only 10 seconds left on the clock, and Patrick Salvasi is 4.5 seconds ahead of Joseph German now, has let a bit of time go to the Toyota brethren, however will finish the race here quite handsomely, still in P1. Patrick Salvasi new to tracc.eu for this race today, and coming up to the last few corners. In the meantime, let's take a quick look. Ethan de Jong is still battling with Tina Curtis. It does not look like he's close enough for a move right here this second.
Ooh, Polukai stopped! Polukai is currently stopped on the side of the track. I think they probably...
Polukai's going.
Okay, no.
We're watching Polukai right here.
Yeah,
But
okay,
lost a bunch of positions. Now down in P8. Yeah. In the meantime, Patrick Salvasi has won the race. Congratulations to Patrick Salvasi in P2. It seems that Joseph German is finishing here.
Wow.
And P3 goes to Edwin Law after everything that has happened. And Ethan de Jong, a second behind now, not having been able to make any move on Tina Curtis up ahead.
Yeah, and also right behind them, Rescacchioso, because that issue that Polukai had made Resca able to get at P7. Oh man, Tina Curtis was able to defend against the pretty strong and aggressive driver, Etony Young. Wow, good job on Tina. What happened there? What was that? I saw Cadillac destroying, I think, Paul Niklas Pavlik.
That
was weird.
Well, there was some Porsche
issues, I think. Yeah, as right now we're also seeing Julian Mester finishing in P3 in the GT3s, then Ometom right behind in that wingless Lamborghini.
Right behind, we
right
say,
behind
but a lap down. 2 laps
yeah,
down.
Lap down. Which is a shame because Ometom really had a shot at potentially winning this race. So it kind of sucks that they weren't able to do any better, but nonetheless, congratulations on them to actually be able to complete the race. And also, 2 rookies won their debut race here in track. So congratulations to both Patrick Silvasi and Maculato?
So the final standings today will be Patrick Silvasi finishing in front of Joseph German and Edwin Law. Daniel Negaitsev and Tina Curtis are in P4 and 5.
And Etony Young and Rescacchioso, the 2 Toyota hypercars behind the Cadillac. I mean, that is the lonely Cadillac in a sea of Toyotas. Like almost the top 7 with only that thing in the middle. Then Eric Gregg is 1 lap behind in the Ferrari G Foxington, 2 laps behind in the BMW. Putera Daniel has the lone Alpine, then Sasha Dechov and Sonke Piti, 2 drivers that that finished the
finishing drivers of the hypercar grid.
You.
In the GT3s, we have Tommy Leto winning the race ahead of Adrien Bonfin and Julian Metzner. This is the podium. They are in front of Linian Brown in P4 and Said Sardi P5 in class. Zola Kihara is in P6 and Dometom is in P7 of the class. Then we have a few more finishers. We have Charlton Bertoni, Rigor Mortis, Paul Niklas Pavlik, Ubi Diaz, all finishers, and the rest of the grid has DNF'd, unfortunately, or did not start in the beginning.
Wow, that was a race I did not expect so many people to not finish, especially in GT3. Like, there were so many people that DNF'd today. I mean, I know that some people was down to disconnects. I think Alex Curta was down to a disconnect. But man, that was a race.
It definitely was. And next week, we're going to have the next race. And we are going to stay in the Americas. We're going to go to South America for the South American round of the Continental Circus, racing on Interlagos, the WEC layout. So, there you can still sign up to this championship, by the way. There are reserve spots for it. And, well, all that you need to do for that is go to... Let me write in the link into the chat right now. You just have to go to tracc.eu/Discord in order to join our Discord server, where you will be able to find all the further information you need on signing up. Thanks to all of the people that watched today. Thanks especially to all of our patrons who help us organize this monetarily. Server hosting is not cheap, and we are thankful for every help we can get there. I have been Julian Strasser. With me has been Sebastiano Rossi. Thank you all again for watching, and see you on the racetrack.